G'day, my name is Guy Gross. I'm the composer on Farscape, and this is another one of my favourite episodes, The Choice. Beautiful, beautiful episode. Gorgeous, created really to express Erin's loss. She believes Crichton's dead, or Crichton's died in the previous episode, one of the Crichtons anyway. And so it really had to be her loss, but also had to express this vast, empty, disgusting kind of planet that she's on, though it had one of the clips from the film which used that theme, and it's played. I'll just play it to you first on an oboe. So I'll play the from the opening part of the film where you hear that. You also hear some male voices really low. Yeah, I actually saying that, sped it right down, sampled it and manipulated it so that it didn't sound like me, but it sounded like these sort of monks, which helps that sort of religious nature of this episode. And also there's a giant bell sample that I found, that sort of the bells tolling, just to help that whole image. So that theme, that simple chordal theme of is one of the few times that I keep repeating these themes throughout the episode. Yes, it comes back in other episodes, but it's not something I normally do in a Farscape episode. This one just came out at me and it really felt like a self-contained little featurette. So I had no problem in recurring, and it really helps the audience understand the nightmare that Erin is in, that it's not something that's going away. She is deep inside this abyss, and the way you would have a problem, it's just always on your mind, just like this theme constantly hassling her throughout the episode. It's also a beautiful episode for its emotional aspects to it. So it harks back to the Choice, the Locket, which is another episode favourite of mine. It's just one of those episodes that stand right out, and so musically it was a joy to do. A lot of Farscape I score with a very simple, menacing string thing. I've used it in this sequence. It doesn't bring attention to itself. It lets the audience feel the gravity of what's going on. And it's a great device that just doesn't get in the way of what's going on. Certainly stays away from the dialogue. I'll play you a bit. So it often doesn't take much more than that to really propel the scene and express what it does. Interestingly, that's not the kind of music I'd expect to stick on a soundtrack album. And when I write my music, it's the last thing in my mind. What I'm writing for is specifically what's going on in the pictures. I'm really a slave to the pictures. That's what I try and follow. It's not about making the music quality for music's sake. It's really got to serve the purpose of the pictures, and that's why sometimes music as simple as that will just serve the pictures just fine, not bring attention to itself, and actually, really hopefully lift the scene into emotional areas that it wouldn't have gone to otherwise without any music. A beautiful dialogue between the two great actresses. For me, musically, I'm like moving in and out of what they're saying, literally turning on lines. When they get hopeful, I turn hope. When they get dark, I go dark. For me as a composer, it's a joy to work with such great dialogue and such great performances. So that little last 30 seconds is a good example of that whole stay dark. And then when she mentioned something that gave us a tiny bit of hope, that resolution on the turn probably towards that gun as the gun came up. So it's all about following the shapes that the dialogue has set, that the actors have set. If you look back through it, you'll notice that most of my musical movement will be between lines of dialogue. This dialogue was delivered beautifully slowly. Nice big holes for me. So deliver line dialogue, musical statement, line of dialogue, musical statement, and it's really like a ballet between the two things. So enjoy the episode. It's one of my favorites, and listen out for those major minor themes. It's quite a blast to listen to. Thanks for listening.